Right now on 10 News this morning, a house of horrors. The arrest made after a dozen dead animals were found inside an Escondido home.
The Eagle has landed. Today, the world is celebrating the 50th anniversary of the moon landing. Details on this historic day and how San Diego helped with that mission.
And a big day for Comic-Con. Crowds are already waiting in line for today's highly anticipated Marvel panel. We are live downtown where the excitement is building. Folks camping out for hours already. 10 News this morning starts right now.
Live from the Scripps Studios, this is 10 News.
Happy Saturday and third day of Comic-Con. For those of you keeping score at home, it's July 20th. I'm Mary McKenzie.
And I'm Melissa Messiha. The good thing is that temperatures overnight were comfortable for those who decided to spend it outdoors.
Right.
And sleep outside, I guess.
Hopefully they got some sleep.
Yeah, and San Diego, I suppose, is not a bad place to do that. Let's take a look at a couple of our sky cams. We see Del Mar there, a couple of horses getting some early morning practice. And over on the right, El Cajon above the clouds at 6:01 on this early Saturday morning. Current conditions across the county, we are seeing 60s in most areas, although it is warming up in the deserts currently at 73 degrees. And that is just going to continue to warm up into triple digits. Hour here along the coast, eventually we'll see most of that cloud cover burn off by the afternoon. We'll be in the low 70s by 2 o'clock and then upper 60s by 6 p.m. In our inland valleys, we are looking at the low 80s by later on today. Temperatures still slightly below normal and then 76 degrees by 6 o'clock. Your 7-day forecast is coming up with a warm up on the way here throughout the county. Mary?
All right, Mel, thank you. A GPS device on a missing cat leads investigators to a house of horrors. More than a dozen dead cats found inside a home in Escondido. The man living there, 26-year-old Joshua Boyer, has been arrested. He faces 11 felony animal abuse charges. The cat owner, who wanted to stay anonymous, says it was his missing cat's GPS tracker that last pinged on the property that helped expose the horror happening inside.
Well, I'm extremely happy that they finally made an arrest and held someone responsible and accountable, and some justice will be served.
Officers were on this case for months. They say they would not have made an arrest if they didn't think they had the evidence to do so. Now, over at the Humane Society, police tell us there that there are many more details about the case that they will not be able to talk about until after the courts sort everything out. Boyer will be in front of a judge on Monday.
The United Kingdom confirms Iran seized 2 tankers in the Strait of Hormuz, one a British ship, the other a Liberian vessel. That Liberian ship was stopped and later let go. Now, this comes after President Trump said an Iranian drone was shot down for flying too close to a U.S. Navy ship in the Gulf. Marines say they brought it down using counter-drone jamming equipment, but Iran officials say the U.S. actually shot down its own drone. It was less than a month ago that Iran did shoot down a much more sophisticated U.S. drone. Iran claimed it was flying in its airspace.
We hope for their sake they don't do anything foolish. If they do, they will pay a price like nobody's ever paid a price.
President Trump says he will be speaking with the UK about the ship's seizures.
A new investigation is being launched into disgraced financier and sex offender Jeffrey Epstein. He's already facing sex trafficking charges in New York. Now, Florida is looking into the time that Epstein served for sex crimes in 2008. There's been criticism that prosecutors gave Epstein a sweetheart plea deal, allowing him in part to work from his office throughout most of his sentence. The new investigation will focus on whether he or anyone else involved in the case violated any rules during Epstein's work release.
The man in this viral video who originally claimed police brutality is now heading to prison. San Diego police body camera footage showed 20-year-old Trinell Cannon wrestling with officers back in May. Now, Cannon was sentenced to 4 years and 4 months behind bars yesterday. He pleaded guilty to resisting arrest as well as an unrelated robbery and burglary case. A judge had a message of advice.
I am going to make the referral to fire camp. I certainly hope, sir, that you pick up some skill there that you're going to take with you once you get out of custody.
Police say Cannon ran from officers in Chula Vista and hopped in a car leading to this chase on the 5 freeway. That's when police say Cannon got out and tackled an officer. Police Chief David Nisleit says once Cannon was restrained and no longer a threat to officers, no additional force was used.
50 years ago today, with the world watching his every little move, Neil Armstrong took perhaps the most famous small step in history.
Tranquility Base here. The Eagle has landed.
On this day in 1969, after more than 4 days of travel to get there, Apollo 11 made its final descent onto the moon. But there were some issues. The spacecraft had overshot its landing. It was also burning fuel faster than expected.
My first thought was, oh gosh, we're not going to make it. We're dead in the water.
For astronauts Neil Armstrong and Buzz Aldrin, it became a life or death situation. It was Armstrong who manually guided the lunar lander carefully down to the moon's surface. Since Apollo 11, the U.S. has sent 6 manned spacecraft to the moon. Today, NASA says they are working to send people back to the moon by 2024.
And some of the technology used in the landing came from right here in San Diego. Ronald Pitcher is an instructor at the San Diego Air and Space Museum. He helped build small antennas that made sure the ship always had contact with Earth.
I can bring people over here and point to it to say, this is what I did. And it's a proud moment to be able to do that.
Another San Diego company, Ryan Aeronautical, designed and built the radar that guided the lunar lander as it touched down. The Air and Space Museum is hosting a party tonight. Starts at 6 o'clock. It will include interactive exhibits and a documentary based on the landing.
CAL FIRE is showing off its new fleet of firefighting aircraft. This is one of CAL FIRE's new C-130 air tankers. They carry 4,000 gallons of flame retardant. The older planes only carried 1,200 gallons.
This gives us another tool in the toolbox to really protect lives and property is what it boils down to.
CAL FIRE says it's become the first department in the world to own a fleet of these large tankers. CAL FIRE believes that it's a model other departments will start to emulate.
Well, happening today, it's the annual Surf with a Cop event. Today, law enforcement from several different branches will be coming together at La Jolla Shores.
And we're seeing it live now. We can't see them, though. They're
no,
a little
not
too
quite.
small from this shop. The event's hosted by Urban Surf for Kids. It's meant to foster youth to have a good time and to heal from traumatic experiences with law enforcement. The event happens from 9 o'clock this morning, so a few hours from now, till 3 o'clock this afternoon. Then there will be surf lessons, also other beach activities if surfing is not your thing.
And of course, another event happening today. Comic lovers, superheroes, villains, even some zombies, all in the Gaslamp today. Comic-Con is underway. Thousands of people still expected to head to the convention center later on this morning, if they're not already there.
Yes, I know, and they have been out there in droves, it sounds like. Let's get to 10 News reporter Natay Holmes. We found some folks who have been out there all night, part of the day yesterday. It's just amazing, the dedication, Natay.
Oh my gosh, guys, I can tell you that this is one of the busiest times that I've ever seen the downtown area this early in the morning. We have seen buses, dozens of buses just dropping off folks coming to the convention center this morning. And I just want to show you, actually, the line is getting much longer. I'm told by security that the line is already wrapping all the way around the back end of the convention center this morning, and you can see these folks lined up. Now, I'm told they're getting ready to actually let this group of folks right here in this tent line up in front of the convention center to make their way in. And joining me this morning is Tim. Good morning, Tim.
Good morning.
How long have you been waiting in line?
Well, it's been since yesterday in the morning.
How many hours?
Well, we waited probably for, so what is that? It's around 24 from the time we got here, but we'll go in, we'll go to the convention hall, and then go shower up and then come back.
Awesome, awesome. Now I see they're letting you make your way there this morning. What are you expected to see today?
Well, we're going for the Marvel booth, so we're going to go for autographs. So that's what we're hoping to see. We know when we get in there's going to be lots of people, and we're hoping we can just get to the place we want to go quick enough.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Now, guys, as you can see, they are making the lines move forward towards the convention center. These folks have been waiting in line since about 12 hours. Some people have told me they've been waiting in line, but there are so many things to do out here. Good morning. Good morning. There's a lot of excitement out here this morning. There's so much inside of the convention center, but keep in mind, if you don't have a badge, you can make your way across the street just near Petco Park and outside of the Omni Hotel and around the Gaslamp. There's a bunch of free activations for folks to do, carnival games, rides, giveaways, and just a whole bunch of stuff that folks can do. If you do not have a badge, again, totally free. But as you can see, dozens of people already making their way to the Gaslamp area, and all of these folks have been standing in line for hours, finally moving the line forward to the convention center. Doors open around 9:30. Live in downtown, Natay Holmes, 10 News.
Natay, thank you. What fun energy down there.
Yeah.
The Gaslit downtown coming alive very early, very late, all of the above. 10 News has your complete survival guide too to Comic-Con all weekend long. We have the highlights. Also, we have the areas to avoid and how you can experience all the fun from home if you don't want to leave the comfort of your couch. Everything you need is at 10news.com as well as the free 10 News mobile app.
Now, San Diego's most accurate forecast. This is 10 News Pinpoint Weather.
When you think about the people waiting for 24 hours, talk about dedication.
So I was concerned for them about two things, bathroom and then coffee. How do you get coffee? But I did see a couple of people with Starbucks cups, so I'd imagine if you have a group, you take turns and right, exactly. So hopefully they've had a chance to take care of all those
people
needs.
have it all planned out for Comic-Con weekend. As we take a look outside at 6:10, we are starting off with cloudy skies here along our coast. This is a live look at Coronado. I'm not seeing too many people out there just yet. I'm sure we'll get a little crowded later on this morning. 64 in La Jolla, same temperature there in Kearney Mesa. If you're waking up in Fallbrook, good morning. You right now are at 61 degrees. Eventually that cloud cover will burn off by later on this afternoon. We're going to get much better clearing here throughout the county. So enjoy today because a warm up is eventually on its way. If you are going to be heading out to Comic-Con, we'll be at 73 degrees by 4 p.m. If you're going to be staying out in downtown later on tonight, upper 60s by 8 p.m. before those clouds roll back in. So this high pressure that is heating up half of the country, we're going to start to feel it here as we get into next week. So things are going to start to heat up from below average where we are right now to above. So just wait for that. It is coming. Your forecast highs for today, pretty comfortable along our coastline. In El Cajon, we'll be at 83 degrees, 78 in Julian. If you're going to be heading over to Campo today, 90 degrees. So taking a look at your 7-day forecast, we're going to warm up just a few degrees as we get into next week along the coast. Inland is where you're really going to see it. We're going to be from the low 80s today to about 93 by Wednesday. The humidity is also going to pick up. We could get enough moisture for a slight chance of thunderstorms up in our mountains and our deserts. So the best chance for that Tuesday into Wednesday. So again, I keep emphasizing enjoy today because you see some of the temperatures we have in store. Well, except for the deserts. The deserts is pretty much just going to be hot throughout the next several days.
Yeah, hot and hotter. Okay,
there we go.
Sounds good. Mel, thank you. Drug lord El Chapo, he begins his life sentence at a Supermax prison. Conditions he can expect to face in one of the nation's most secure prisons.
An East County mom on a mission to never pay for babysitting ever again. Not a bad mission. How she's helping other moms do the same.
And stricter rules for San Diego landlords. Some changes to make sure they can't discriminate against applicants based on where they get their income. 6:13 now. Get breaking news as it happens anytime by following us on Twitter at 10 News.
10 News Mornings, connecting you to San Diego.